Real Madrid once again finds itself in a situation where one event triggers another. The team dropped points in Vallecas. The attack has been silent for the second match in a row, and behind the scenes there is a real storm. Huge transfer plans, interest in Rice and Barcola, an unsettling silence around Vinícius. And at the same time, Erling Haaland's name is sounding louder and louder. Today we will break down what is truly happening with Real Madrid, why the team is stalling, where Xabi Alonso's project is heading, and whether it is true that the club is preparing the biggest rebuild of its attack since Cristiano Ronaldo left. This is not just an overview. This is a knot of events that will shape Real Madrid's face for years ahead. Real Madrid returned to action after a painful defeat at Anfield, and many expected a quick reaction from Xabi Alonso's team. But the trip to southern Madrid once again showed that Vallecas remains one of the most uncomfortable places for the league leader. In a tense and uneven match, Los Blancos failed to break through Rayo Vallecano's defense, finishing with a scoreless draw and dropping 2 more important points. The match began chaotically. Rayo immediately increased the aggression in midfield, and in the 21st minute could have opened the scoring when Andre Ratsiu broke through to the goal and shot straight at Courtois. But the keeper handled it. Real responded instantly. Vinícius seemed to have found his moment, but Augusto Batalla saved a difficult shot, and Asensio then headed wide. It was a sign of how the entire match would unfold. Chances existed, but Real simply couldn't finish them. Vinícius tried to take the game into his own hands, cutting into the box, shifting the ball to his left and right, but every attempt ended with an off-target shot. Right before halftime, he created space again, but struck too inaccurately. Real dominated possession but lacked clear control. Rayo imposed a fight in almost every area of the pitch. After the break, both teams traded chances. De Frutos hit the side netting, and Arda Güler fired from distance but missed. Bellingham, recently back with the England squad, beat a defender with a diagonal run, but once again ran into the reliable Batalla. Mbappé curled a beautiful shot toward the far post, but was just inches off. With 20 minutes remaining, the pressure increased. Valverde shot low, and once again Batalla saved. Real threw everything they had forward, but Rayo defended with discipline. Even Güler's brilliant solo run in stoppage time didn't lead to the decisive moment. The defense closed around him like a cage. The draw became Real's second consecutive scoreless match after the defeat to Liverpool. Yet Xabi Alonso appeared calm afterward. He said that playing in Vallecas always requires special readiness and reminded that this place has caused real trouble for many years. He praised the team's character and emphasized that there were no issues with intensity. The battle was equal, but transitions simply didn't work as well as they should have. Alonso also commented on leaving Trent Alexander-Arnold out of the starting lineup. Valverde played on the right flank instead, but picked up an injury in the second half. Alonso explained his decision simply. Trent needs a bit more time, and the international break will help him regain full fitness. In the end, Real leaves Vallecas with 1 point and a lingering feeling of incompleteness. The team creates chances, but hasn't scored in 2 consecutive matches. Yet Alonso insists there is no emotional decline, and that each La Liga match is a separate story. Now Real Madrid faces an important break. A chance to rethink what is happening and restore the sparkle in their attacking play. And perhaps after the pause, we will once again see the team that went through the season confidently, without dropping points for months. While European football prepares for the winter transfer window, a real explosion is brewing in Madrid. Real Madrid is getting ready for one of the most spectacular transfer moves in recent years. According to reports from Spain, Florentino Pérez and the board of directors have approved a record budget, around 250 million euros, for 2 key signings that should strengthen the midfield and attacking line ahead of the next phase of Xabi Alonso's project. The main target is Declan Rice. In just 2 years at Arsenal, the Englishman has become one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. He is consistent, strong in duels, confident in ball progression, and perfectly controls the team's play. That is why the Madrid club sees him as an ideal successor for building a new midfield after the era of Casemiro and Modric. Xabi Alonso, who knows this position better than most, has been following Rice for a long time and believes his versatility fits perfectly into a system that requires flexibility and high intensity. Real is convinced that this profile can make the team even more stable in the toughest matches. But the price is enormous. Arsenal values the player at no less than 150 million euros, a sum that could become a record for Real Madrid. And although London does not intend to let one of Arteta's key players go, Real's interest is too serious to ignore. Rice is not just a player. He is the foundation of Arsenal's current model, which is why negotiations could become some of the most difficult of this window. The second point of Real's big plan is Bradley Barcola. The Frenchman has already become one of the brightest young footballers in Ligue 1. He is fast, technical, strong in one-on-one situations, and possesses a maturity rarely found in players his age. In the eyes of Real Madrid's scouts, Barcola is an ideal candidate to strengthen the wings and refresh the attacking line. Real Madrid is ready to offer around 100 million euros for him. This is part of a strategy in which the club wants to secure a potential replacement for Rodrigo if one of Europe's big clubs decides to trigger his release clause. Madrid is convinced that Barcola can grow into a starting-level player and become part of a long-term project. There is only one problem: PSG. In Paris, Barcola is considered one of the pillars of the future, and the club has no intention of letting him go. But Real is counting on the player's desire to test himself in La Liga, and a major offer could at least make the French club sit down at the negotiating table. And if we combine these two transfer directions, it becomes clear. Madrid is preparing to invest 250 million euros into the foundation of its future team. One of the best defensive midfielders in the world, plus a rapidly developing attacking talent. Such a plan fully reflects the ambitions of a club that wants to dominate Europe again. Florentino Pérez is ready to invest, but without disrupting the usual balance. Major signings will be possible only with adjustments to the wage structure and possible sales. However, Madrid is sure the investment is justified, because these are two players around whom the project can be built for the next 7 to 10 years. The negotiations are currently taking place behind closed doors, but one thing is clear: Real Madrid is once again preparing to become the center of the transfer market. And if these two signings go through, the club will receive a massive boost and confirm that the team Xabi Alonso is building is designed not just for the current season, but for a new era. In the coming weeks, it will become clear whether Arsenal is willing to listen to offers for Rice and whether Barcola will push for a move. But one thing is certain already: the winter transfer window involving Real Madrid will be loud. And while the Madrid club prepares major reinforcement, another story, far louder and more emotional, is unfolding around Real Madrid. At the center of attention is Vinícius Jr. Spanish sources on November 5-6 reported that the contract extension situation has reached an impasse. Negotiations are barely moving, and the sides are far from close to a new agreement. This is not just a technical delay. Within the club, concerns have arisen that reaching a deal may be extremely difficult. Football outlets reported that Real Madrid has set a minimum price for a potential sale: 150 million euros. This is a kind of protective barrier meant to keep contenders at a distance. However, demand is only growing. In England, Chelsea and Arsenal are closely monitoring the situation, and Manchester City, according to Bild and Football España, is already exploring the possibility of entering the race. In addition, German sources claim that Real Madrid is even discussing the scenario of a sale in the summer of 2026, following a tense episode between Vinícius and Xabi Alonso. There is no open conflict, but certain moments related to team discipline raised questions, and this fuels the conversations about a possible separation. But that's only half the story. In parallel, the name of Erling Haaland resurfaces. Team Talk and British journalists report that Real Madrid's interest in the Norwegian striker is not only alive, it is structured as a long-term goal. Real has a clear understanding. Signing Haaland requires huge money, and a potential sale of Vinícius could become the financial lever that makes the deal realistic. Insiders emphasize Haaland remains a target, but not for the coming season. Manchester is confident that the forward will stay in the squad for the next few years. But in football, the line between impossible and completely realistic can disappear in just one season. And here it is worth recalling the words of Haaland's father, who openly said that England is only a stage, and that his son's career may include several major stops. Also the words of his agent, Rafaela Pimenta, who repeatedly stresses that Real Madrid is a special option, and if one day Erling decides to move on, this club will be among the first to be notified. An additional layer of this story is the mythical clauses for real. Several Spanish sources claim that Haaland's contract contains hidden exit mechanisms. But Fabrizio Romano does not confirm exclusivity. If a clause exists, it is open, not specifically for real. In other words, the transfer is possible but not as simple as headlines make it appear. Even so, Real's interest aligns with Haaland's personal desire to one day test himself on another stage. Goals, emotions, and status at City are one thing. But what the Bernabeu provides is something completely different. It is influence, popularity, global brand power. And British journalists call this the Norwegians' key dream. In theory, an almost perfectly harmonious picture emerges. Vinícius leaves. Haaland arrives. The left flank belongs to Mbappé, the center to the Norwegian, and the attacking trio becomes something that could be called football of the future. But for this to become reality, several conditions must coincide. The players' will, City's readiness to discuss a sale, Real Madrid's financial strength, and the resolution of Vinícius's situation. For now, all of this is a scenario at an early stage of formation, but one thing is clear. Clubs are already thinking strategically. Real Madrid is studying the striker market, assessing the value of its stars, and preparing for a possible rebuild in attack. Meanwhile, Manchester is confident. Haaland is currently focused only on City and Pep Guardiola. But no one hides that the plans for 2027 could be completely different. So if Xabi Alonso's project is built on young, versatile, and highly efficient players, the upcoming windows may become decisive. The only question is who will be part of the new attacking line, Vinícius or Haaland. This choice may define Real Madrid's identity for years to come. Despite 2 difficult matches in a row, Real remains one of the strongest teams in Europe. And what is happening around the club is not chaos, but restructuring. Balance, reinforcement, strategic decisions. All of this is part of a long journey. The team is now going through a pause to return stronger. And if the leadership completes its transfer plan, the next version of Real Madrid may become the strongest since the Cristiano Ronaldo era. The main events are still ahead, and we will definitely cover them. Thank you for watching. See you soon.